Hi everyone, this is video 3 for kayDbait on who I am and where I'm coming from and perspective and all that nice stuff. I ended the last video talking about the things that I didn't like. There's a long list of things that I don't like. I'm very tolerant of them normally though. I'll name some of the things I do like. So then you know when I'm talking about them that I'm going to be positively biased. I do like nice people. I like people that use reasonable arguments, obviously. I like fancy electronics. I like nice smells. I know that sounds weird, but somebody gave me a little thing of I think it was perfume. I don't know why, but they gave me this little thing, and I really liked the way it smelled. And I accidentally spilled it on something, and that thing smelled like it for a long time, and I liked it. I don't know why. It reminded me of my grandmother, which is interesting. The olfactory sense of your smell is the most connected to memory. So smells do remind people of things. And that's what that particular smell reminded me of. So I like things that smell nice. Cinnamon, vanilla, chocolate, cooking meat, steaks and stuff. I like those kinds of things. And not always food either. The perfume stuff smelled like perfume. I could never name it, but I don't even remember what it was. I can't find it anymore. I wanted to give it to my friend, and I spilled it everywhere, and I don't know what it was, so I couldn't get more of it. That's why I wanted it, is to give it to people. But anyway, nice things. I don't like fancy food because I find that it's kind of a waste because I just eat it and it's gone. I like things that last. I like things that are long-lasting. That's why I like electronics. I mean, they don't last forever. They don't last on a table or something. That's why I like board games because they last forever if you use them right. But I like things like my laptop. My last laptop lasted a long time. The one before that lasted like 5 years. Hopefully this one will last as long. But generally, I like things that once you buy them, they're bought. You don't have to buy them again. Clothing is one. I've had this shirt since high school. Obviously, you can see that it still fits me, not perfectly, but it still fits, and it's functional. I don't wear it to work. I don't wear it, to anywhere besides here in the store, but I like it. It's comfortable. I haven't grown an inch since high school, actually. Since my freshman year, I was 5'8". I'm still 5'8". Some people think I'm getting shorter, which is funny. But I have gotten a little bit more muscle since I was working at the warehouse, and since I was running around doing yard work, since I moved, and running around a lot. And then I've gotten fat, kinda. I'm just kidding. Uh, but let's see, I like video games a lot. I grew up with video games as one of the prime forms of entertainment, so I've gotten very into them. I'm very good at them. I like things I'm good at. I'm good at video games. I'm good at board games. I'm good at logic puzzles. I'm bad at. I cannot do a Rubik's cube, but I'm good at things like checkers and chess. And I really like apples to apples because it's a fun game. I like things that make me laugh. I like things that bring people together. Common goals, common morals, common ground. Things that make people feel included as opposed to excluded. Things that empower. Uh, I like the kinds of movements that are emotionally uplifting. Things like giving people rights that they didn't previously have to create equality. I like that. I do not discriminate race at all. I don't discriminate gender at all. I don't discriminate countries at all. Uh, I'll have to explain that one a bit. Countries have different cultures. Different cultures have different societies. So what's wrong in one country isn't wrong in another country, or what isn't wrong in one country is wrong in another. So you have to explain. You have to understand that from their perspective, they're right. From our perspective, they're wrong. And then they'll look at us and say, well, why are you judging us? And we'll say, because you're wrong. And that's judgmental. And I don't like that. I do not like people that judge others without understanding. Now, if you were from their culture and you still said it was wrong, now there's something. But if you're not from their culture and everyone in their culture thinks it's right, then you have to step back. Really, you have to step back outside of your own culture and look at it. Is this humane? Is this human? Is this what the human race should be doing without using your judgment system? And that's really, really, really hard to do. It's actually impossible to do, but there are ways of looking at things in pretty much unbiased views. If they're killing people indiscriminately because they look different, yeah, that's a problem. If they're killing people because of something they did that you feel isn't wrong, such as, what's a good example? I don't want to use that one. That one's too widespread. Sodomy, being unfaithful to your wife, things like that. In one country, it's common practice for the wife to be killed when the husband dies. It's not common anymore, but it was. And we looked at that and we said, hey, that's not right. You can't throw them onto a bonfire when they're still alive because their husband died. That's kind of mean. And when you look at it, it's murder. But in their culture, it wasn't. So then you had to step back and say, okay, out of our culture, out of your culture, is this what people should be doing? And then you say, well, it is kind of horrible. And it turned into a religious thing, or it was a religious thing anyway. And then we realized that, and it was like, okay, now we have to get into that. And it just became bigger and bigger and bigger. But things like that, you'll say, well, it's obviously wrong. And then you look at it, it's like, well, they believe it's right. And then the problems start. So when I say a country can't be wrong, I really mean that it's something that you can't just say is wrong. You'll have to look at it in a much broader, much more unbiased way, and then you'll say, well, it's not good for society. It's not good for the individuals in the society to do this. And then things start, progressing. Another one is homosexuality. It's very, very open in a lot of other countries. Norway, countries around Norway. I feel embarrassed that I can't remember the names of them. I know them all, I just can't remember them right now, and I'm crunched for time, so I'm not going to stop and think. But those countries, it's not a taboo. It's not wrong. So when people from over there come over here, and we tell them it's wrong, here in Texas, extremely homophobic state, they'll come over here, and somebody on the street will beat them to death. I mean, that's an extreme example, but it happens, and it's horrible. We judge them for something that they don't feel is wrong, and we're not even going to explain. And that really bothers me. So when I say countries, when I say countries can't be wrong, it's the people that do a lot of the problems and a lot of the things that are wrong. So don't beat someone to death because you feel they're wrong. Don't even say they're wrong. Just talk to them about it. Ask them about stuff. Learn. Cultural, what was the word? It's where you combined the cultures and you meld a little bit and you learn a little bit. Don't remember the word again. I apologize. But if we were to go over there and see it, and we're starting, getting our pitchforks and stuff, then they'll throw us in jail. It's like, no, you don't do that here. You shouldn't do that anywhere. But let's go to culture. Let's go to culture for a moment. Let's just say in some countries, it's common practice for women to wear clothing that covers their entire body. That's culturally accepted and culturally right for them. Now, when they come over here and we say it's wrong and sexist and, prejudice and all these things, but they want to wear it because that's what they feel is right, are we allowed to tell them they're wrong even though they're in our culture now? See, this is where we get into the gray area. They're doing it of their own free will because they feel it's right. And we're trying to explain to them how it's not right and how it's wrong, and how it progresses and how it propagates a negative stereotype. And it does, kind of, but it's what they want. And it wasn't pressed on them, at least not that I've seen. It's just the way they grew up, so they're very comfortable with it. If I were to live up on a very large, in a very high skyscraper, I would be terrified of the windows because I get vertigo. So I'll say, stay away from the windows, stay away from the ledges. It's making me uncomfortable. But then they say, no, 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 you gotta come over here and do this. I don't want to do that. It makes me uncomfortable. If you tell them, don't wear that thing in public because, it's discriminating and it's this and it's this, but it makes them horribly uncomfortable, it's the same as putting me on a ledge. I mean, it obviously, I'm not in any danger because it's a ledge and I'm not going to fall off, and they're not in any danger because they're just, going into the standards, but it still makes them very uncomfortable. And it doesn't seem very nice to force them to do this, to take them away from their comfort zone and say, you are wrong for doing this, come over here and do it right. Again, some things are wrong. Forcing that on people is wrong. Forcing them to wear the clothing is wrong if they don't want to, because it causes stress, it causes anxiety, it causes a negative stereotype that women should always be covered. There's a lot of issues with things like that. One of my roommates is waking up. Anyway, there are a lot of different cultures. There's a lot of cultures that are different than ours, and there's a lot of cultures that are seemingly better than ours. I'm not going to name any, but America is one that is unique in that we have a lot of different cultures mixed in. We don't have as much history. So when we grab somebody else's history and start using it, there's going to be a million people from all the different countries here with different histories, and that's good. It allows for mingling. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Okay, I'm going to end the video here.
What's up,
Take care.